Bringing 300 bucks to the craps table? Perfect. In this video, I'll show you 3 beginner-friendly strategies designed for, well, a $300 buy-in. It'll give you more action, bigger payouts, and still keep it simple enough to follow right from the start. Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I am a craps fanatic. My job, to teach you the game, to teach you the math and some strategies, and with a little luck, you can color up. All right, you have $300 to play the game of craps. If you can find a $5 table, that's great. That's what you should go to. Cheaper is always better because your money will last longer. But at $300, you could probably play at a $10 table. You really can't afford a $15 or $25 table with only $300. I say only, I know for many people that's actually a lot of money. But in the game of craps with $300, stick to a $10 table or lower. When you first approach the table, you're going to look for this puck. It's either going to be off, which means the game is off, or it's going to be on one of these numbers and the game is in session. If it's in session, just wait patiently for the puck to go off. Should only take a few minutes. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others, but just wait for this puck to go off. You're then going to put your money on the table in front of you. The dealer is going to count your money and then count out a stack of chips for you. There's a good chance he'll give you one stack of red, which is $100, and then he'll count out $200 in green. He'll push it in front of you. You're going to pick it up and put it in the rack directly in front of you. Now, 2 of these strategies do not use the pass or the don't pass. These bets are only required if you're rolling the dice. If you're going to be rolling the dice or want to be the shooter, when it's your turn, you will be required to make one or the other. But I'm going to show you a couple of strategies that you could play when other people are rolling the dice. All right, strategy number 1. First thing is the shooter is going to roll one of these numbers and come out and start the game. Let's say he rolls a 9. We're then going to make a bet of 44 inside, which is $44 on the inside numbers. These are the inside numbers. These are the outside numbers. So we want the inside, 5, 6, 8, and 9. If you don't have exact change, it's okay. You're going to take your money, put it in the table in front of you. Now, I like to always put it on the line between the field and the come bet. If you put it here, it could be assumed that it's a field bet. If you put it here, the dealer might think it's a come bet. If you put it here, if the dealer's busy dealing with other players, at some point he's going to say, whose bet is this? And what do you want with it? At that point, you'll let him know, I'd like 44 inside. He's going to take your $50. The first thing they're going to do is give you $6 in change, and you can just put that in your rack in front of you. They're then going to set up your bets, watch where they position you. You always want to keep track of where your bets are. They're going to put $10 on the 5 and 9 and $12 on the 6 and 8. Now with these 4 bets, you have 18 of the total 36 dice combinations. That means you have a 1 out of 2 chance to roll one of these numbers on every single roll. 50-50 shot. Any one of these bets that roll, they all going to pay $14. So the dealer will take $14, count it out, and hand it off to you. You can then put it in your rack. There are some times where they may ask you to drop them $1. What they're doing is just making change. So instead of giving you $14, 2 red, 4 white, or sometimes blue, what they would do is say, hey, drop me $1, which means put $1 on the table, and they're going to give you $15 for your 1. You still get paid $14. They're just making change and giving you more red. We started with $44 at risk here. If we can hit 3 times, we will have won $42. At that point, these bets are up here, and we only have $2 at risk. If we can hit it one more time, we start getting into profit. And then every roll after that, we're just making money. Once you're in profit, you're certainly welcome to bet more numbers that you feel comfortable with. But as a beginner, I would probably just stick with these numbers. You have half of them covered, and these are all pretty good bets. Strategy number 2 is often called the iron cross because we're going to go on the field in the 5, 6, and 8, or the anything but 7 strategy because you win on every roll of the dice except for the 7. So for this strategy, we're going to take $35, and again, it doesn't matter if you have, or $34, it doesn't matter if you have exact change or not, just at least $35. So we have 35 here, put it on the line, tell the dealer I want the 5, 6, and 8. He's going to take that, he's going to give you $1 in change, again, put it in your rack, and then he's going to set you up with $10 on all the numbers and then $12 on the 6 and 8. All these bets are $10. These bets are $12 just because they get paid. They get paid 7 to 6 So you got to bet in amounts of $6. These bets get paid 7 to 5, so you bet in amounts of $5. So the dealer will take care of these bets, and then you are going to put $10 in the field yourself. This looks like a good bet, but it's not a good bet. Long term, you lose a lot of money on this, but it's good to cover all the numbers at the beginning. So with the field, we have the 2, 3, and 4 covered. We have the 5, 6, and 8 bet up here. Then back to the field, we have the 9, 10, 11, 12. So anything that rolls, we win, except for the 7. The problem with this is if you roll the 5, 6, or 8, you will lose the field. Notice there's no 5, 6, or 8 in there, so you would lose. But you would win 14. You could replace the field, but you're only winning $4. We're going to use the field short term to win twice and cover more numbers. So if any of the other number rolls, let's say the 3 rolls, we would win. We can then take $10 and cover another number. So maybe we bet on the 9 here. If we win again, let's say the 10 rolls, we win $10. We can now take that money and cover all of our numbers, bet the 4 and 10. Now we've got them all covered and we're done in the field because we've got all these numbers up here covered. That's the strategy. If you ever roll a 2 and 12, they pay more. So if the 2 rolls, instead of winning 10, you would win 20. You would have enough to cover all the numbers immediately and you're set. You don't have to wait for another field number. After that, you sit back and start collecting your winnings. Hopefully, the dice will roll a long time without a 7 rolling. All right, strategy number 3, we're going to play a little bit of a hybrid system. We're going to bet the dark side and the light side is what it's called. So with this strategy, we're going to bet when the puck is off. We're going to make a $25 don't pass bet. Remember, it wins with a 2 and 3, it loses with the 7 and 11. Let's say a number rolls and it goes to the 5. We're then going to give the dealer enough money to bet the 6 and 8. So that's going to be $24. We could throw in 25. Again, they'll give you $1 change. Or if you have exact change, you can give them $24 on the table. And then you will set up your bets of 6 and 8. Now you're hoping for these great numbers to roll a couple times. You're going to win on these bets. And then every roll ends in a 7. So eventually the 7 is going to roll. In that case, we would then also win on the don't pass. So you can win both ways. But also, unfortunately, you can lose both ways because if we roll a 5 here, we would lose our don't pass. Then we don't have any protection if the 7 rolls, and then a 7 can roll and we lose these bets. If the puck ever comes out on the 6 or 8, I probably wouldn't bet it. I would just pick one of the other numbers. Dealer, give me a 5 and 8. So this only has to be $10. So $10 5 and then a $12 8. And then our don't pass would be against the 6. That's the 3 strategies I would play if I was beginning and had $300. Let's go ahead and compare them side by side with a live roll. Now keep in mind, anything could happen in the short demonstration. One may look good and one may look bad, but it just depends on how the dice roll for those moments. There's no perfect strategy. You just have to hope that the one that you're playing at the time is the one that gets lucky and wins. All right, each player has $300. This will be our $44 inside. This player will be our anything but 7, and this player will be our hedge player. So he's the only one who's going to start off with a $25 don't bet. These other players will wait for the puck to go on a number. So they'll dump the dice. The shooter will get to pick 2. With one hand, you throw it to the opposite end of the table. Just for my video, we only see one end, but if these players were playing, they would throw it down to the far end of the table. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. They're going to call that a 5. Anytime the dice is on the wall like that, whatever, if you move the wall, it would land on a 2. So point is 5. So this bet has a bet against the 5. All right, you can give exact change if you have it otherwise. So this player will put 50 on the table. Again, I like to put on the line. Dealer, give me 44 inside. He'll give you 6 and change and get set up here. 10, 10, 12, 12, and pay attention where they position you. You can always ask the dealer, because where he's standing, imagine this is like little tables. If you're standing here, they're going to move you to this position. This player is now going to play the 5, 6, and 8 and the field. So he's going to need $34. So we can do 25. We'll give the dealer 35. Tell him we want the 5, 6, and 8. will get $1 change and get set up on the 5, 6, and 8. Again, these will be bets of $12. Rack the change, and then he's going to bet in the field $10 himself. And then finally, this player is going to bet 10 each, so he can give the dealer 25 or 12 each. He'll get $1 change, and then he will get set up with $10 each, or $12. I keep saying 10, $12 each. Now, just for room, I'm going to put him back here, just so I got a little more room. My table is not full standard size. Most tables, real tables, are going to have enough room to bet 8 players. So I'm just going to put this player back here. Normally, this would be reserved for players over here starting to come around the table. All right, time to roll the dice. Everyone's set up, and let's see what happens. 8 easy, 8 easy. All right, no field 8, so he's going to lose in the field. They're going to pay from stick to base. So who's on the 8? We've got this player is going to win 14. Goes out to you. This player is going to win 14. Goes out to him. And finally, this player is also going to win 14. Goes out to him. He's just going to rack it. He is going to replace his field, rack his ones, and this player will also just rack his chips here. All right, let's keep the roll going. 10 easy, 10 easy. All right, first thing, the field will get paid. And then anyone else has a bet on the 10? No one has a bet on the 10. So this player, he's going to ask, hey, I'd like to cover another number. So he's going to, what number doesn't he not have? He doesn't have the 9, so he's going to make a bet on the 9. So now he has the 5, 6, 8, and 9 in the field. The other players are just going to wait. Yo 11, that's a win in the field. So he's going to win in the field. No one else has a bet on the 11, so this player can now cover his remaining numbers. I'd like to make a bet on the 4 and 10. And he's done with the field. He's got all these numbers covered up here. This player has just the inside numbers. This player has the don't, so he wins with a 7. Otherwise, he's just rooting for the 6 and 8. Here we go. 2 craps. Doesn't affect anyone at this stage of the game. 8 the hard way, 8 hard. All of our players are going to win 14. I'm going to pay them all 15 for $1. Need some more red here. Player, drop me $1. I'm going to give you 15. Player, give me $1. I'm going to give you 15 as well. So they can all rack that up. Where was his 15? I think I already put it in the rack, hopefully. Okay, all 3 of them got paid there. Continue on. 6 easy, 6 easy. All of our players have the 6. Again, I'm going to pay you 15 for 1. I'm going to pay you 15 for 1. They'll kind of look in your rack and see, does he have $1 chips? Or if he doesn't, he'll just pay you out the long way. 15 for 1. All right, let's rack our wins. And keep rolling. 3 craps. Doesn't affect anybody. And there's the 7. Okay, with the 7, you're going to see a lot of money go down. So these are all going to be collected. Go to the dealer. All this money off the table. But the don't pass is going to win. So he's going to win back 25. He hit a couple 6 and 8s, and then finally that. Puck will go off, means we'll start a new game. So he can rack his win there. He's going to start out, stay on the don't. The bowl will be dumped. We'll have a new shooter. Here we go. Let's see what happens. 7 on the come out. Pass line players would win, but the don't pass is going to lose his bet. It's okay. He can just make a new one. That's the toughest part, to make it past the first roll where he's the underdog, big underdog for that first roll when the puck is off. Another 7. It can happen like that. It is the most likely number to roll. So again, he loses. Make a new bet. Here we go. 9. Point will be 9. So he has a bet against the 9. Let's go ahead and throw his money in. 25, dealer, give me the 6 and 8. Dollar change for you, because it's going to take $12 each on the 6 and 8. This player here is our, what is he doing? The $34 on the 5, 6, and 8. So he'll get a dollar change and get set up here. 6 and 8 for $12. 5 for $10. And this player is 44 inside. I'm going to give the dealer 50, get 6 and change, and then get set up on the inside numbers. This is his position. And then this player, he's going to make his field bet. All right, everyone's set up and ready to go. Let's see what happens. 5, no field 5. Field will lose. And then we'll play the players who have the 5. So this, I need some white. This player is going to win 14. And then this player will also win 14. He's got to replace his field. Doesn't have to, but that's his strategy. This player is just going to rack his win. And this player over here is unaffected. 8 easy, no field 8. Again, the field loses. Now everybody has the 8, so I'm going to pay everyone 15 for 1, 15 for 1, 15 for 1, and they can all rack that up. And continue on. Here we go. They're going to call that a 5. Our field player forgot his 5. We're going to have to say, keep with the strategy. He made a bet in the field. He would have lost his field. I just want to keep it consistent so they kind of compare properly. But then he's going to win 14. This player will win 14. He's going to replace his field. Just collect 4. This player is going to collect all 14. And we continue on. Here we go. Yo 11. All right, the only player that has a bet is the field, so he's going to win there, and he's going to ask the dealer, hey, let's place my 9. I don't have the 9. And he's going to look for, he's 2 hits in the field. All right, here we go. 6 easy, no field 6. We lose the field. All our players have the 6. So I'll pay them all $14. So 15 for 1. 15 for 1. And he's actually short on white, so I'm actually going to pay him 14. So we'll rack that up. Rack theirs up. Rack theirs up. And continue on. Here we go. And there's the 7. So again, all these bets will come down. And then our don't player, he's going to win. Puck will go off and rack that up, and we'll start over again with a new shooter. Here we go. Maybe give this one more try. See what happens. Here we go. 7 on the 7 on the come out is hurting this player over here. Loses his don't. Make a new don't pass. Dice off the table. That's going to happen. Don't worry about it. They'll give you a new one. You get to try again. Happens all the time to all the players. Ugh. I think he's lost 4 times on that way. That's the game. You never know. You got to pick the right strategy at the right time. All right, point's going to be 4. All right, dealer, give me a 6 and 8 for $12 each. Dollar change. I'm going to set him up back here. All right, this player is our $34 player. If I can grab the change on the 5, 6, and 8. So he will get a dollar change. Make the field bet himself. And this player is 44 inside. So there's 25. There's 50 to the dealer. We get 6 and change and get set up here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 44. There we go. All right, everyone's set up, and let's see what happens this round. 5, no field 5. Loser in the field. Do I have some more white here? We got plenty of white in the rack, so I'm going to pay them. These two pairs are going to win 15 for 1. 15 for 1. We can just rack it up. And let's continue the roll. Another 5. And again, I forgot to make my field bet. So just to be fair, stick with strategy. If you forget, you wouldn't lose the bet. But if the bets, if you're following strategy, you would be making the bet. So he loses the field. But again, they're going to both get paid $15 or $14, but I'm going to pay out 15 for 1 and 15 for 1. He's going to replace the field because he's looking for 2 field wins. So far he has 2 field losses, and he's just going to collect. All right. All right, wow, another 5. All right, let's do the same thing. 15 for 1. 15 for 1. He's going to replace his field, only collect 5. He's going to collect 15. And there's the 7. 7 out. All right, so these are all going to come down. Puck will go off. Oh, I forgot to pay my don't pass player. Rack it up, and we'll end it there and count and see where we ended up. They all started with 300. This player has 1. And they'll count it out, but 1 or 25, 50, 75, 100. 25, 50, 75, 100. So 300. $305, $308, so $8 profit. This player here has 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, 225, 230, 235, 237. So a little loss there, $64 loss. And then finally our last player, who seems like he lost a lot on that don't pass, the come out roll. I think he did. There's 100, 25, 50, 75. That didn't turn out as bad as I thought. 200, 225, 250, 265, 270. So he actually did better than this player. 275, 278. 1 winner, 2 losers, but it's always just going to depend on how the dice rolls. Sometimes he's going to come out on top, sometimes he'd come out on top. You never know. But however you like to play, good luck on coloring up. If you're enjoying my videos, consider supporting the Color Up channel by joining my club, the Color Up Club. It's an awesome community of craps enthusiasts just like me, and I also give out some free swag. So check out my website, colorup.club.